So here is neck of turkey, but I know it does not look like a turkey neck, it looks like something else, but we're a family friendly channel. Here we have the lizard, heart, and gizzard of the turkey, and the liver's gross, but I ate the heart and gizzard after this was recorded. Now for the very important part of the turkey, you got the stuffing. You want to cut the bread pieces into uniform squares so that you don't get overlapping bites that are misshapen. Basically, you'll cut up as much bread as you want until you get the amount that you want to make. So, now for the very important part, to the flavoring. You got the onions. You're going to cut up a whole onion and basically throw it in there. We want to do small pieces because it gives the bigger flavor, which is ironic. You think big pieces give big flavor. Now you take a moment from recording the pet dog who hopes stuff drops. Now important part for the giblets, you want to take some of the onion you already cut up, not too much, just a little bit for some flavor, and put it in the pan with the giblets. Now you cut up some celery that you put in the pan with the giblets for even more flavor. And of course you want to season the giblets to your own taste. And they're very good turning out this way, I tell you. And then you add water to barely cover them up, and you let it boil for like half an hour or so, or until it's done. Now you cut up some celery for the stuffing. You want to cut off stalks first, like it's being shown here. And then after that, you want to cut them into little cubes, nice and small, like the pieces of onions, for the big flavor. Until you get the right amount, and then you give this piece right here to the guinea pig, because she loves some celery. Now you season it up with some sage and other flavors you want to have up in there. Then you crack some eggs. In this recipe it's 5 with this amount, just to keep the moistness of the stuffing and make it very good, which it was, trust me. So 5 eggs, sage, own seasoning, celery, onions. And then you want to take your hands and mix it up like a man or woman. Mix it up really good to get the flavors going in there. You want to mix it up, and then you add some evaporated milk. Then you want to mix it up to this point where everything is nicely distributed, and then you shove it up in the turkey, because I guess that giant hole isn't for putting a Cornish hen. And then you put some water in there to make it not stick to the pan. And then you cut up some sweet potatoes for the next recipe. And then I'm firing my cameraman. What the bleat are they doing? It's supposed to be focusing on the potatoes. So beyond cutting more potatoes, you basically do this process. Oh man, this cameraman's fired. They are now focusing on what they're supposed to. And then you basically repeat this process. You don't want the potatoes more than 1/4 inch thick, or else they'll kind of be hard after cooking, and you want them to get kind of chewy but not mushy. You want them to be nice and good. Oh yeah, and then you layer them. Then you cut up other potatoes, and you basically layer all the potatoes so that none are sticking upright, or vertical, I guess it would be called. Oh man, that's a lot of potatoes. There were 6 potatoes. It created a big portion. Then you cut some slabs of butter. They can be whatever the hell thickness you want. Ain't nobody controlling you. Then you stack them on top too. And then at this point I gave up. I had the master chef finish off this recipe right here. Basically you put all the butter slabs, and then you do a generous amount of brown sugar, because it will melt with the butter and make a nice sauce with the potatoes, which I like to put on my baked mac and cheese. Cranberry sauce, not sponsored, but they should. Oh, there we go. have some cream of mushroom soup for the green bean casserole. For this recipe we did 2 cans of soup, and then basically don't let any go to waste. Then you fill a can with some milk, because you don't want it to be as thick as it is, so the milk will help make it thinner, but to help distribute among the green beans. Then you mix it up with a whisk, get it all looking nice, and then you got the green beans. And then with the green beans, you're going to mix it up all nice until it's evenly distributed and looking all good. And then you'll dump it into the pan. Don't make sure none goes to waste, because you don't want that to happen. Then you flatten it out and ready for baking. Prep the stuff, you want to make sure you put it where it goes. You boil half a box of macaroni noodles and then put some butter slabs on it, because this is the recipe for some good old homemade mac and cheese. Baked mac and cheese. Then you do your seasonings, and then some parsley flakes, because you gotta get some nice color in there. And then you get some block cheese or Velveeta. You do a nice layer of Velveeta. And then you put some shredded cheese on top for some extra flavor. The shredded cheese is the best part. Mind you, this is only layer 1 of 2, so basically this will be redone again. And it was pretty good. I don't know why I let this run on. And then you look at the dog again, who's really hoping something drops, because he's a little boy. Then you add some more cheese, because without cheese, what's life? What's life without cheese? And here's the end where you put on the second layer of the macaroni noodles, the Velveeta, all that fun stuff, and then it's ready for baking. Here we have the done turkey. It looks fabulous. The little button thing popped out. Stuffing looks fantastic. Stuffing, mashed, or not mashed potatoes, and then you got the sweet potatoes, green bean casserole, baked mac and cheese. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad you joined me on this adventure.